CNN News 18. Breaking news coming in from Bangladesh. Another Hindu man killed in Bangladesh. Second such incident in 24 hours. A young Hindu man from Bangladesh's minority Hindu community has been murdered. On Monday night, a Hindu man named Chakraborty was killed in Narsingdi on the outskirts of the capital Dhaka after being attacked with sharp weapons by extremist armed religious fundamentalists. According to local residents and eyewitnesses, Chakraborty was running his grocery shop as usual. At the time, unidentified assailants suddenly attacked him with sharp weapons. He was critically injured, and while locals were taking him to the hospital, he succumbed to his injuries on the way. So that is a major update that is coming in from Bangladesh, where another Hindu man was killed by extremist religious fundamentalists in Dhaka. As it is being reported to us that the murder took place at the outskirts of Dhaka, and some locals were taking the individual to the hospital, but he succumbed to his injuries on the way itself. So, second such incident in 24 hours. A young Hindu man from Bangladesh's minority Hindu community has been murdered. On Monday night, a Hindu man named Chakraborty was killed in Narsingdi on the outskirts of the capital Dhaka after being attacked with sharp weapons by extremist armed religious fundamentalists. According to local residents and eyewitnesses, Chakraborty was running his grocery shop as usual. And we are joined by Pallavi Ghosh, who is joining us live from Dhaka. Pallavi, what details have emerged so far about the killing of another Hindu man?
So he was a grocery shop owner, Harsh, and he was also again shot in the head. And of course, locally, the people are saying it was just a local skirmish. But the fact remains that he is the 8th Hindu killed in the last 2 weeks. He was a Hindu shopkeeper, and it's very close to Dhaka, where he was killed in his village. Now, with this, the number goes up. Within, as I pointed out, within 2 weeks, 8 Hindus being targeted. And this has certainly raised a lot of eyebrows about the efficacy of the Election Commission to conduct a free and fair election. But more than that, the worrying sign is that despite some big statements coming in from the Yunus administration that all are safe, all political parties talking about making no difference on the basis of religion, that's clearly not the case on the ground. It's worse off when you go into the interiors and the far-flung areas of Bangladesh, where communication is very poor. One does not even come to know those figures, but you are extremely vulnerable. That's the sense one gets if you belong to minorities, whether you were Christians, but more importantly, Hindus, who have been a lifeline of the economy of Bangladesh in more ways than one. So this is certainly going to be a big scar on Bangladesh's attempt to have a semblance of democracy.
Right, Pallavi. Pallavi, on one hand, Bangladesh is trying to keep a secular front by keeping a Hindu captain of its cricket team, but the reality on the ground is quite different.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, I have visited 2 such villages. I visited 2 such families. And, they tell us a very horrific story. They said we never had enmity with the people who shot them, but we don't even understand why they came in from. Both the Yunus administration and local police dismisses off as professional rivalry. The family members tell me that this is not really the case. We all lived together. Until a few weeks back, we were all very, very close, and we had very close ties where we would mix around with each other, meet together for get-togethers. But suddenly it seems that there has been someone who has emboldened them, and there is not an inch of remorse. If you look at the main players over here, BNP is very guarded, but Jamaat, though it talks about unity among the communities, Jamaat's ideology is considered to be extremely radical, anti-India and very Islamic ideology. They would want the minorities to be co-opted, but in the sense that you co-opt them into their religious fold. This may not be acceptable, but naturally, Harsh, it would be acceptable. But on the ground, despite the Yunus administration's claims, the police has often been caught napping, dragging in feet. I remember the case of Kokondas, despite the fact that everyone knew who the accused was, his pictures were freely available. He was only arrested after he died in Dhaka after a week.
Right, Pallavi. Pallavi, as a result of all of this, we are also getting to know that some Hindus have decided to boycott the elections in Bangladesh.
So there is a Hindu community over here, and they are planning to meet up later today. They've already given their petition to the Election Commission expressing their concern that there may not be free and fair elections. So Hindu community will take a final call on whether they want to be a part of the elections, because they feel that they will be marked, there will be more violence. But in the meanwhile, all I can tell you is that Tarkanda village, which is where Deepu Chandra Das belongs to, which is in Nanman district, where the other death also took place of a security guard who was Hindu, shot in the factory, Biswas. So Manman Singh's village has decided that all the Hindus that they are not going to take part in the electoral process because they feel they are again going to be targeted if they stand in line to cast their votes. The possibility of them being provided security are very thin.
Right, Pallavi. Many thanks, Pallavi, for gathering all that. We'll have to really see how